And we're back. I'm Vanessa Lagoa, and you're watching Life Rewritten on Now Media Television. Welcome back to Life Rewritten. I'm your host, Vanessa Lagoa. If you are loving Now Media TV and all of our shows and you want to stay in touch, download our free app on your mobile device and on Roku TV so that you can watch us live 24/7. We are back with attorney Christopher Nudo and having a great conversation about Chris and his business and his faith. And welcome back, Chris.
Thank you.
So, Chris, one of the things that I think is really cool that you do is you lead and have led for many years a men's group. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, sure. Um, you know, uh, I've been fortunate enough to have around 12 men in my life that really hold me accountable and help me with work, with marriage, with parenting, with my walk with the Lord. And, while I may be the leader of these 12 men, I believe there is no leader. We all collaborate and hold one another up. I think of the Bible verse, iron sharpens iron.
Mhm.
And that's what me and these men do. We get up at we start meeting at 5 a.m. every Saturday morning, and we've been doing this for over a decade. And it is an absolute requirement in our lives. Otherwise, we just see our lives, go off the deep end. We start to regress into the men we don't want to be. So this men's small group is absolutely a pillar of my life.
That's really cool, and I feel like men, especially women, it's very normal for us to get together, to talk, to guide each other. But unfortunately, I feel like our society sort of, doesn't encourage men to do that as much. So I love hearing about groups like that because men who live their lives that way with integrity, with faith, in my opinion, really will change the world. You're leading not just yourselves and but your families, and then your children grow out and are more in tune with themselves and are better able to lead in their lives as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think having that collaboration is so important, and to never feel alone. Because
I
when
think
you are,
that's a big key. That's
yeah,
very important.
and when you're struggling and you talk about it, oftentimes, like we talked about earlier, you're going to come across somebody who says, "Hey, man, I've been through the same thing. Let me tell you what worked for me." And to have that camaraderie is just so important in life.
It is. It is to, you know, you never want to think that you've arrived in your walk with the Lord, pretty much in anything in life, whether it would be your business, you never arrive. Everything is about moving your feet and taking the next step forward. And, men, um, it's no surprise to anybody watching this. Men are broken vessels, but yet the Lord has called us to lead. And so we take this vessel and we commit it to the Lord, and then we get with other men. We just recognize our vulnerabilities and we help hold each other up. And when we all come together like that, first of all, it's very honoring to the Lord. And second of all, it really helps equip us with our families.
Yeah. And many people will say that if you keep to yourself what has worked for you so well, it would be selfish and it would almost be a disrespect,
Yes.
to God. And so by you, leading these groups, living your life this way and guiding other men especially, you're really honoring your God,
Yes.
and you're being of service. And I think that the most important thing, in my opinion, to lead a wholesome life is to be of service to others. So you're certainly doing that. Chris, if somebody wants to get in touch with you, either for some help in their faith or in business, how can they get a hold of you?
Our website, integritylaw.com, I got to hear it behind me, um, is the best way because there you can you have a phone number, you have emails, you have ways to uh, text us, all the traditional means in which to get a hold of us, and that's
Right.
the fastest way to reach me.
Okay. Let me ask you this. If you walked into your practice tomorrow morning, sat down, and you were going to design a perfect day, what does that day look like for you in terms of your clients or the type of work that you're going to be doing?
Oh, so I absolutely love estate planning. And
Mm,
I love when a client walks in, it could be a married couple, it could be a single, it doesn't matter. And they say, Chris, I have a vision for my legacy, but I
mm,
don't know what that looks like. And so I can sit down with them and I can first explain, you know what? Estate planning is really a love language because what we're going to about to do is we're going to put together a series of documents that really expresses your heart to your family or your loved ones when you've died. And that we're going to put it together in such a way that we're going to make it easy for the people who are suffering the loss because you've died. We're going to make it very efficient. We're going to try and consider whether or not there's any twists and turns that we have to put into it because we have a child who may not manage money well, or we might have a child with a disability, or we might be very philanthropic and there's 12 charities that we want to include in your final disposition when you die. And oh, I could go on and on and on. I just love the idea of sculpting and planning for when we all die and leaving that legacy, moving that forward is just what I love to do.
yeah, I mean, you're giving families a sense of security, and I would imagine that as heavy of a topic as death may be, we know two things are certain: we will pay taxes and we will die. And
Yes.
so these are certainties, and you're helping. I feel like you're sort of taking the burden and the heaviness out of the planning.
We try very hard to do that.
And it sounds like the way that you're doing it with integrity and with honoring what's important to people is really built right into your practice, which I don't know that that's all too common.
Yeah, I mean, I always tell people, listen, when I'm done, we better have expressed your family's values in everything that we put together. I am not about just generating documents. I'm not just about, hey, people are like, can I just have a will? Well, you can go on LegalZoom and you can get a will. That's not a thing that we embrace. What we embrace is our will or our trust or our documents we put together are going to be crafted with your family's values and what you want accomplished in mind. A very different process.
Right. Well, and you're really looking at each family individually, and you're really, like you said, you're crafting something for them that eases their mind. And I think that's a really beautiful thing. And like you said, anybody could go online and type in, like a Mad Lib, add
Yeah,
in their own, but you're implementing it in a way that I think is really unique and special. And I would imagine that sets you apart from, competitors. Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like it. So, Chris, what's next for you? What's your next chapter look like in life?
Oh, my next chapter. So that is such a great question. So, I don't look at and I love the title of your show, Life Rewritten, because
Yeah.
um, I don't look at things ending. I look at every end as a beginning chapter.
Mm,
And this past January, just 6 months ago, when we rebranded my firm for to be NTegrity Law, that was yet another beginning. And we're so excited for the way that people are embracing the new brand, the way the community here in Chicago is really encouraging us with the new mergers and acquisition team that we brought on board and all the estate planning and real estate and just really exciting things going forward. We're trying to get that message out that we're different. And if you're looking for that difference, come check us out.
Yeah, and Chris, you are so clearly living your life based on your personal brand,
Mm,
and that's transferring into your business. And that is so wholesome to see. I
thank you.
really think that it sounds like anybody who would work with you would really be in good hands and be with somebody who is going to lead with the heart and lead with all the best intentions. And I love that. I really think that the world could use more Chris's. Um, is
More
there
broken
any,
vessels that are just trusting in the Lord.
and you look at it that way, and I look at it almost in the opposite, that you're not broken at all. You're perfect just the way you are, and you're doing exactly as you're supposed to be doing. And when you're faltering, you're finding your way back up, and you're continuing on the path that feels most authentic to you. And
Thank
I
you,
think
Vanessa.
that that is something that if you continue to give to this world, it will continue to bless you.
Mm,
Yeah. Chris, thank you so much for being a guest today. We would love to speak with you again, and keep going out there doing what you're doing.
thank you, Vanessa. Have a
Thank
great
you,
day.
Chris. We'll be right back with more stories of resilience and renewal. This is Life Rewritten on Now Media Television.